नमस्ते बेटियों, खुश रहिए। I JVWU Muskan Kumari from the Department of Science and Technology, and today I will discuss the and I am working here as an assistant professor in JVWU University and Faculty of Education and Mythology. So today I will discuss the new session name. That name is your uh, what you will say that like the overview of TCP/IP protocols in which in the computer networking course, which is the course of MCLE second semester. Okay, that's right. So today I will just want to discuss these topics with you, and for making you better understanding these topics, I just want to share some contents with you. So just hold 1 minute. I'm just sharing that once with you. Okay. Yes. This is the overview of the TCP/IP protocols, and it will help you to understanding the networking programming with the TCP/IP protocols. Okay. So what overview of the TCP/IP protocols? Here is what the TCP/IP means: the transmission control protocols and internet protocols. This is basically based on the network models, which is used the current internet architecture as well as protocols are the set of the rules. Protocol is what? This is considering the set of the rules, which is helps you to understanding the better for performing the any task. Clearly, so protocols is the set of the rules which govern every possible communications over the network. Over the network, whatever you want to do, that helps you to achieve that goals. Clear? So now these protocols describe the movement of data between the source and the destination. These protocols helps you to understanding the source and destinations, that how will you perform the task between regarding these two ports or these two nodes. Similarly, how the data will move from the source to destination, and how they will get the responses in the form of the data packets from the destination to the source. Clear? So this basically show you the movements of the data packets, and then they also offer simple naming and also addressing the scheme. Naming and scheme addressing a scheme means what? So addressing a scheme is just like where you are sending the data packets. There might be some addresses from where you are sending the data packets and from where the data packets is originates. The address is also available there, isn't it? Sender address, receiver address. So addressing mode is also important here. Now TCP/IP model. In TCP/IP model, there are mainly four layers: network access layer, internet layer, transport layer, and the application. Clear? So, physical layer, data link layer, and network layer is considered into one. That is the network access layer and the internet layer. After that, transport layer and the applications layer. Clear? So, in OSI model there are 7 layers, but in the TCP/IP model there are only 4 layers. Clear? So now, if we talk about the if we talk about the transport layer, so here the what is the protocols regarding here, the your session name is also the protocols of TCP/IP model. Clear? So I just come to the point of the protocols. So if you anyone asks to you what are the various protocols which is situated in the TCP/IP protocols, so you will use here that what host to host or network layer. These all are the protocols which is used like the Ethernet, frame relay, token in 18, and in the internet layer are the protocols which is used like the IP, ICMP, IARP, ICMP, ARP, and in transport layer the protocols used is TCP, UDP, and SCTP. And after that, if anyone asks to you the application layer, then you will see that the telnet, DNS, and HTTP. Clear? So now comes to one by one to reach the protocols. like first overview of TCP IP reference model. So TCP IP, that is the transmission control protocols and the internet protocols basically developed by the Department of the Defense and Project Research Agency, who is the ARPA, later DARPA, as a part of the research project of the network interconnections for connecting the remote machines. Suppose there are various machines or the computer which are situated in one network area with the different locations, with the different places. Then you are connecting with all the communications with the interconnections, establishing the interconnections with all the computers. Clear? So the features that stood out during the research, which led to make the TCP reference model, where the support for the flexible architecture, the architecture which we want to design that should be the flexible in nature, adding much more machines to the network will be very easy due to the flexibility and the scalability uh, factors. And the network was robust. Whatever the network you are designing, that network must be the in robust nature, and connection remains intact until the source and the destination machines were functioning. Yeah. So these all are the what these things. The overall idea was to allow one applications on one computer to talk to same data packets, another application running on different computer. And now you will think here that what is the basic differences is here. The overall idea is allow that one application. Suppose there is one computers and there are another computers on the another places. So the computers which is in one side and the applications are in that computers has to send some data package to the another computers which is under the running state. Then how will it happens? So just to telling about this ones, I'm just explaining this. But below I have discussed that things. The firstly the one by one layer. First one the host to the network layer. Data will be sent from host to the network layer. First step is this one. That the lowest layer of all is the host layer, and they are transmitting the data packets to the network layer. Protocol is used to connect to the host. There are some protocols which is used to connect to the host so that the packets can be sent over. Then the packets will be sent to and varies from host to host and network to network. Clear? Now next is data packets reached to the internet layer. So selection here, there is a possibility to select the packet switching network, which is based on the connection list interval layer is called the internet layer. Okay. Now it is the layer which holds the whole architectures and also link it to others. It helps the data package also to travel independently to the destinations. There is no need to you are bunching the data packets with the multiple data packets and reach to the destination. So all the data packets, whatever, how many times you are sending the data packets, they all data packets are independently reach to the destination side. Clearly, all order in which packets are received in the different from the way they are sent. Clear? And IP Internet Protocol is used in this layer for transferring the data packets and reach to successfully to the destination. The various functions provided by the Internet layer is that delivering IP packets and performing the routing. Routing is also performing. Now here you will understand that what is the routing. Routing is that whenever you are transferring the data packets from one place to another place, and that is that choosing one path that is known as the routing. Clearly avoiding the congestion. Avoiding the congestion in the sense there must not be a congested path over where your data packets is sending to the destination side. Clearly, so the always the your path communication channel must be congestion free. Clear? Now transport layer. Third is the transport layer. It decides if transmission should be parallel or parallel path or the single path. It decides it depends on you that the path will be the parallel or the single. Functions such as the multiplexing and demultiplexing, segmentation and splitting of the data packets is also done in the transport layer. Application can read write to the transport layer also. Transport layer adds header information to the data packets also, and transport layer adds header information to the data packets, and the transport layer breaks the messages into the smaller units for making the for in the context of the loads of your communication channel, isn't it? Now, suppose your communication channel load is this much, and you are sending the data packets with heavy loaded, so there might be that some parts of your data packets or of that data frame may be lost during to reach to the destination. So always send the data packets with regarding to your communication channels capacity. Clear? So you will in that case what you will do, you are segmenting your data packets into the multiple small units, and send one by one small data packets to over that communication channels to the towards the destination. Clear? Which will handle more efficiently by the network. Transport layer also arrange the data packets to be sent in the sequential part. And now, if you come to the application layer, then what? And the TCP IP specification described about the application that were at the top of the protocol stack. Some of them were telnet, FTP, SMTP, DNS also. And telnet is basically what it is a two-way communication protocol which allows connecting to the remote machines and applications on it. Clear? Now, second is the FTP. FTP is what file transfer protocol. It is a protocol that allows basically for the file transfer amongst the multiple computers, which is computers connected with the users over the network, and it is reliable, simple, and also efficient. Now, SMTP is basically a simple mail transport protocols that is basically used to transport electronic mail between the source and destination and directed via a route that is with the help of the router. Clear? Now, DNS is the domain name server and resolves the IP address into a textual address from the host connected to the network. And it also allows peer entities to carry the conversations. It defines two end-to-end protocols like the TCP and UDP. TCP is basically the transmission control protocol. It is the reliable connection oriented protocols, also known as, and which handles the byte strings from the source to the destinations without error and flow control. Isn't it? Now, if you talk about the UDP, the user diagram protocols, it is the datagram protocol. It is unreliable connection-less protocols that do not want TCP sequencing and flow control, one shot request reply kind of services. And if we talk about the merit advantage and disadvantages of TCP models, then I will tell that it operates independently. It is scalable, client server architecture. It uses the uses in client server architecture, support the number of routing protocols. Also can be used established to making connections between the two computers. And if you talk about the demerits of the TCP, then the transport layer doesn't guarantee delivery of the data packets in the case of the heavy data packets regarding to the communication channels capacity, and that models can be used in any other applications also, and replacing protocol is not very easy, and it has not really separated its services, interfaces, and the protocols. Okay, so now this session is overall completed, and just I want to recall again one times overview of TCP IP protocols. This is basically the TCP. So there are four layers which is used in the TCP IP models. Network layer, internet layer, transport data applications layer, which I have discussed here, and I have also discussed that how data packets is transferred from one to the another parts, isn't it? Now, if we talk about to the its protocols, then I will tell to you that there are various protocols which is being used, TCP, UDP, and SCTP. Okay, and I will discuss in this in the next session there. And if you have any problems in this session, please send me your questions in the comment section bar, and I will resolve that problem in the next session. Okay, thank you.